evaluation of digital building permits processes based on BPMN modeling, simulation, and mining.
Yes, thank you. Okay, hello everyone. My name is Kavita Raj, and I am a PhD. I am a PhD student at the University of Brescia, and today I'm going to present a work titled Novel Methodological Workflow for the Evaluation of Digital Building Permit process based on BPMN modeling, simulation, and mining. So let's start with the introduction. Nowadays, the building permit procedures are still largely manual and based on document workflow and with a heavy reliance on municipal officer, which lead to long processing times and rework. And at the EU level, the digitalization of the building permit is a key part of the twin transition of construction sector. And the goal is reduce the approval time, increase the administrative efficiency, lower the environmental impact, and of course, increase the accessibility and the transparency. And the challenge is not, of course, only technology, but the challenge, the digital building permit rests on other three pillars: organization, regulation and information requirements, and processes. Today, I'm going to focus on the process pillar. Looking at the research background, the research activity have discovered and mapped the current building process, mainly with qualitative analysis involving expert municipal officers and with interview. And this was necessary because discovering the building permit process is a very complex task, and also because the digital data coming from the digital platform of municipalities are very hard to obtain. And on the other side, in the literature, there are 2B models that are digital model of the process that are that do not account for the organizational specificities. And with our research, we want to bridge the expert knowledge together with a data-driven evaluation of the building permit process to make the analysis more rigorous and more consistent, and to simulate before the deployment of any digital solution. And we are going to use a data-driven technique of process mining and combined with simulations. Yes, we developed a framework, a four-step workflow. And the first step, as I said, is taking into account the literature, so interviewing experts from municipalities and map the current process in the BPMN notation, and design a draft of a digital solution of the process. And the second step is the simulation of the current process and the digital process to see how the process perform, and to see how human effort is allocated across the activities. And from simulation, we want to move to in generating realistic data from as an output of the simulation, that are these log, a kind of structured data describing the process, and make modification on this data according to some realistic exceptional scenario that happens in realities, into municipalities reality. And the last part is the process mining step. So we want to discover a new process without human reasoning, but using only a data-driven approach. And we use the modified realistic data as an input. So we applied this workflow to an Italian municipality of 200,000 inhabitants, and their workflow is still largely document-oriented, and we mapped the current building process with interview. In particular, we did one interview that lasted 2 hours, and then we compared and iterated the process mapping with other municipalities we interviewed. Of course, we used this BPMN model notation. And from current process, then we mapped, we designed a first digital version of the process. This one is informed by the literature, in particular the Check2B digital permit process map. And this map takes into account, for example, the step of the automated check compliance of B models or GIS models. And the second step of the workflow was to simulate this process to have a first idea how the process works. And we, let's say, we assigned a value for the effort to each activities. And the value was only estimated, but not, we are not going in detail on. We are still finding a solution to give a realistic value to the effort on each activities, but we assigned a value, and the output were these heat maps that visualize how the process work. For example, in the as-is process, we can see many frequent loops, while in the to-be process, more activities happens before the submission, and this means fewer downstream corrections. And the output of the simulation were these realistic log data that describe the model, that describe the process into structured data. And firstly, we verified the integrity of this data into Disco Fluxicon software, and then we enriched this data according to the domain knowledge to introduce controlled process variability. In particular, for example, we removed activities that do not occur in all cases, or adding exceptional scenarios. For example, sometimes external expertise is required, so this changed the workflow. And we used this data as an input for the discover a new adapted process of a digital building permit using process mining, and we used as an input, and we obtained a new version that take into account the modification we did into data. And yes, and this was only through data mining and without human reasoning. So to conclude, our main contribution is a replicable workflow for the ex-ante evaluation of a digital building permit that bridge the expert knowledge with a data-driven evaluation. And in particular, it is helpful before a digital solution is in place, and also the framework is flexible and replicable, and it could be reused across municipalities, while the domain-specific log enrichment preserves the local organizational specificities. And on the other side, it gives autonomy to the municipalities that can evaluate and redesign their own process before the deployment, as I said. Yes, of course, there are also some limitations to be acknowledged. As I said, we only estimate the value of the human effort in the simulation, and we would like to set a proper methodology to discover how to deal with that. And also we used realistic generated data and not real data. And cross-municipality verification is needed, and we would like to apply this methodology to a real case in a real municipalities. And yes, looking for the future development, as I said, we would like to move from, we would like to move from realistic generated data to a real data coming from the municipalities' digital platforms. And we would like to explore how AI and agents can autonomously support the process execution. Yes, this was my last slide, and thank you for your attention.
Any question? Judith, you were first.
Yeah, thanks, Kavita. I'm Judith Faut from the TU Munich. Yeah, thanks for your presentation, Kavita. Regarding the cost,